I got attacked by a mountain lion. My friend is up there.
I'm so worried about my friend.
It was spring of 2018, and two friends, 32-year-old S.J. Brooks and 31-year-old Isaac Cedarbaum, were enjoying a mountain biking session on some logging roads near North Bend along the Cascade Mountain foothills just east of Seattle, when they were both abruptly ambushed and brutally attacked by a wild mountain lion. This video details their deadly encounter, which saw one of them sustain severe injuries and the other tragically lose their life. It was a beautiful Saturday in May of 2018, and good friends S.J. Brooks, the Director of Operations at Hillman City Collaboratory, a research assistant at the William James College Institution, and an active advocate for colored trans and non-binary cyclists, and their friend Isaac Cedarbaum, a PhD candidate who at the time was an office manager of G&O Family Cyclery in Seattle's Greenwood neighborhood, a manager at Boston Center for the Arts, and a bicycle mechanic, were enjoying a mountain biking session on some logging roads near the North Bend along the Cascade Mountain foothills. The pair cycled side by side, enjoying a conversation about Isaac's eagerness and excitement of cycling for an upcoming community event, as well as discussing their common goals and efforts to help women of color, trans, and non-conforming people develop an interest in cycling. As they admired the scenery of the Cascade Mountains, consisting of rivers, lakes, and waterfalls, little did they realize that they were being stalked by one of America's most dangerous predators. As SJ and Isaac neared the foot of the mountain and were in the midst of a turn onto a rugged trail, a stunned Isaac, who at this time was riding right behind SJ, suddenly turned and noticed a mountain lion chasing him. In a panic, the 31-year-old then instinctually screamed help, prompting SJ to stop and turn around, recognizing the imminent danger. SJ shouted back, "Don't run! Stop! Stop right now, Isaac!" As the pair stood frozen in their tracks for a few moments, the mountain lion adjusted its pace to a slow, cautious walk and sized them both up as it assessed the situation. This bought the pair some time to think. In an attempt to scare it off, SJ and Isaac then raised their arms in the air, attempting to look as big as possible, while at the same time using one arm to hurl rocks at the approaching cougar. As the cougar inched even closer to Isaac, he then grabbed his bike and threw it at the big cat with all his might, a last resort maneuver which seemed to work at the time, causing it to flinch and retreat to a nearby tree. Noticing that tossing objects seemed to be working, SJ would at this point keep on hurling rocks at the cougar, while Isaac was using items from his backpack to do the same. This prompted the cougar to just moments later then jump into some thick bush and out of sight, prompting a sigh of relief from the traumatized friends who assumed they successfully fended off the danger. Taking a minute to be grateful that things didn't turn out worse, SJ and Isaac then mounted their bikes and were likely about to head home. This is when suddenly, out of nowhere, the stealthy cougar then again ambushed them, pouncing on Isaac this time, knocking him down and sinking its teeth deep into his face, causing blood to gush out and cover his eyes, impairing his vision. Isaac tried his best to pry the cougar's jaws open with his hands, but to no avail, and a horrified SJ, realizing that time was of the essence, knew that standing and watching was not going to do any good for both of them, which is when they yelled, "I'm gonna go get help," and started riding as fast as they could. However, their quick movements prompted the mountain lion to turn its attention towards them, release Isaac, and begin a full-on charge. No match for a big cat's speed and agility, even on a mountain bike, the cougar then easily caught up to SJ and pounced on them before they could even react, and proceeded to relentlessly bite and claw at them. Just a few meters away, a dazed and disoriented Isaac would then, in a state of pure agony, manage to sit up and wipe the blood from his eyes, only to, upon doing so, notice the cougar dragging a kicking and screaming SJ towards a tree. Isaac then, as quietly as he could, hopped on his bike and attempted to call 911 from his cell phone. However, since he had no signal, he had to start riding. He then cycled as fast as he could in an attempt to get some bars on his phone, while simultaneously taking off his shirt as he was riding and wrapped it around his head to contain his massive bleeding. Isaac continued to cycle for about 2 miles until he finally had some bars on his cell phone, allowing him to call 911.
I got attacked by a mountain lion. My friend is up there.
I'm so worried about my friend.
Okay. Do you know how far out he is from where you are?
But he's behind a gate. Or it hurts.
I know, but you're doing a really great job staying calm there. We're trying to, get you all the help that you need there.
It was at this point that Isaac handed his cell phone to a stranger who had just happened to be passing by.
Hey, is this Isaac?
Yeah, this is Paul actually. I'm here with iPad.
Okay,
yeah.
perfect. Can you put Isaac back on?
You hear me?
Yeah, sorry about that. Looks like the line dropped off there. So how are you doing?
I need an ambulance.
Yeah, we've already notified them. We're just trying to get to your location. You're kind of out in the woods there, so we're trying to make sure that we're sending him to the right place. We think we got a good location for you. Do you know how far out he is from where you are?
At most 5 miles.
Okay.
About 7 miles from the
But he's behind a gate.
He's behind a gate. Do you know, if it was, a trailhead that you started at, or?
It's on logging roads.
Okay, so you were out on a logging road?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very big hurt.
I know, but you're doing a really great job staying calm there. We're trying to, get you all the help that you need there. I think I told the people who are with you, I want to make sure that you're keeping pressure on your wounds to try to control the bleeding. They said it was slowing down, so that's good. We like to see that. Okay, so I'm going to let you go so you can talk to them, okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Good luck. Bye.
The stranger, who was in a way a hero in this story, then tended to Isaac's wounds as best as he could and provided the dispatcher with the precise location as they waited for the rescue copter to arrive. After several hours of surgery due to severe injuries to his head, neck, and face, Isaac had very fortunately survived the incident despite nearly losing his life. Unfortunately, SJ was not so lucky. Based on Isaac's directions of the location where they were attacked, authorities had rushed to the scene around the same time the rescue copter had arrived, only to find a lifeless and badly mauled SJ in what appeared to be a den with a mountain lion standing over top of them. An officer attempted to shoot the cougar immediately, but missed, causing it to run off and vanish in a matter of seconds. It wasn't until several hours later that Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife agents used canines to track down the big cat, chasing it up a tree upon finding it, at which point it would be shot and killed. DNA samples of the animal were then obtained and sent to a lab for comparative analysis to ensure that this was the culprit big cat that killed SJ and injured Isaac. The results were positive, and the cougar was found to be underweight at just 100 pounds, as opposed to the 140 to 180, which would typically be the average weight of a male its size. This, of course, according to authorities, likely played a big factor in its choice of prey, as its weak stature likely caused it to target prey that put up less of a fight, unlike its typical prey, which consists of deer, elk, bighorn sheep, and even smaller animals like raccoons.
Most of the ones that I have seen that have looked like this, they were dead. The determination and the persistence and the aggressiveness of this cat was exceptionally unusual.
The Seattle cycling community went on to mourn the death of S.J. Brooks on social media, and the Seattle Bike Blog, which they were a co-founder of, went on to collect remembrances for them, and many expressed their deep sadness and shock for having abruptly lost someone they described as a positive light and an inspiration. The rarity of this incident is further exemplified by the fact that this marks only the second fatality by a cougar in Washington in the last 100 years. If you found this episode interesting, then one of our previous episodes about another fatal big cat attack is likely to do the same. You can find it on the end screen of this video.